Good evening. Thanks for coming out to the May 22nd Board of Supervisors meeting. We're going to get started now with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you please join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming out on such a beautiful night. First thing is public comment. Is there any public comment on anything that is not on the agenda at this point? No public comment? Okay. Next thing is our consent agenda. I'm going to move to approve the consent agenda as presented for the following: the minutes of the May 8th, 2023 board meeting and payment of bills for May 22nd, 2023.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
We have some presentations. Item number 5 will be the Police Department Annual Commendations. Chief Bendig.
Good evening. This evening, the Police Department would like to recognize several members of our department for their exceptional performance in the line of duty, as recommended by the department's awards committee. This committee, appointed by the Chief of Police, considers those cases of outstanding police performance as nominated by the police officer's supervisor. If I may, I'll proceed with presenting the officers with their individual awards, after which the board can vote on the motion, if that works. Okay, very good. First person, I'd like to ask Officer Vince Thomas to step up here. This is a commendation, official commendation for life-saving for Officer Vince Thomas and Officer Daniel Rose, who was unable to be here this evening. On August 29th, 2022, at 5:48 p.m., the Montgomery Township Police Departments were dispatched to the 100 block of Gwinnett Drive for a cardiac arrest. 57-year-old victim was observed crouched over the kitchen counter after advising his wife that he was experiencing chest pains. The victim's wife reported that he then collapsed on the floor in cardiac arrest. Upon arrival, it was determined that the victim was in fact in full arrest. Officer Thomas began chest compressions while members of the fire department of Montgomery Township applied the automatic external defibrillator and provided rescue breaths utilizing a bag valve mask. Officer Rose arrived on the scene and began assisting officers with CPR. One shock from the AED was delivered, then a second shock was administered, after which the subject regained consciousness. Volunteers Medical Service Corps of Lansdale arrived and began providing medical care for the victim, who was later transported to Doylestown Hospital for further treatment. On August 30th of 2022, Officer Thomas contacted the victim's wife and learned that he had undergone surgery and was now in stable condition. It is due to the efforts of Officer Thomas, Officer Rose, and those involved that the patient is alive today. Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations.
All right. This second commendation is the official commendation for life-saving presented to Officer Peter Byrne. On March 16th of this year at 2:10 p.m., Officer Byrne responded to the Montgomery Township Recreation Center for an unconscious subject. At the time of the dispatch, the patient was reported as breathing. Upon arrival, Officer Byrne was directed to the basketball courts where the patient was sitting in a chair. Officer Byrne did a patient assessment and determined that the patient had clammy skin, was in gray in complexion, with his head hung forward. Officer Byrne was unable to wake the patient. After further assessing the patient, Officer Byrne was unable to detect a pulse, recognized that the patient's breathing was agonal. At this time, he summoned the assistance of a nearby bystander, moved the patient from his seated position and onto the floor. Officer Byrne immediately started CPR chest compressions and advised Montgomery County Radio. He also requested additional units to respond. Officer Byrne continued chest compressions until members of the fire department Montgomery Township arrived on scene with an AED and assisted with life-saving efforts. The AED analyzed the patient and advised a shock to be delivered. Prior to EMS arriving, the patient regained a pulse. The patient was transported to Abington Hospital for continued treatment and recovery. I would like to notice that this would be an effort on not only behalf of the police department, but the fire department of Montgomery Township and members of our recreation center. Um, Captain Backlund, uh, firefighters Reese, Feltman, Rubus, Lowry, as well as Angelina Capozzi from our recreation center were all instrumental in helping this individual and bringing him back to life. So I know that Chief Wegman is working with the Red Cross for a National Life Saving Award, which I believe has been approved. So that'll be presented later on. But again, this is our award ceremony. So this was an award that was Officer Byrne was nominated for by his supervisor. So again, congratulations and well done. Thank you. Nice one. You're it, man. Our last commendation is a letter of official commendation presented to Officer Nick Eufrazio. On July 26th of last year, Officer Eufrazio was in the process of arresting a subject that was wanted for felony drug charges when a white Camaro drove past with illegal window tinting, and a female was heard inside screaming. The vehicle parked diagonally across two handicapped parking spaces. The vehicle was approached by officers on foot, including Officer Eufrazio. Upon speaking with the driver, drug paraphernalia was immediately observed, and the front passenger was observed manipulating something under his seat. After several commands to show his hands, he was removed from the vehicle for officer safety. After removing the passenger, Officer Eufrazio could see a handgun in the area the passenger was reaching towards. A consent to search the vehicle was granted by the driver and the owner of the vehicle. The gun recovered was a loaded ghost gun, and the passenger was a felon not permitted to carry a firearm. Also confiscated from the vehicle were several bags of crystal methamphetamine and 48 illegally possessed prescription pills. Officer Eufrazio continued his investigation by seizing all of the occupants' phones and collecting DNA from the front passenger to compare with DNA on the gun. A search warrant from the phones led to the arrest of all occupants for drug charges. The front passenger was also charged with possession of the illegal ghost gun and was also found to be a suspect in a recent shooting in the Landstill area. It is due to the efforts and investigative perseverance that all of the subjects in this case were arrested and an illegal gun was taken off the street. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
All right, so how about I read the resolution and then we take a picture
Very good, ma'am.
with everyone? Okay. I move to recognize and commend the identified law enforcement personnel for their outstanding performance in the line of duty.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much. Everything you do every day for us. Another round of applause. Yep. Oh, coming up here? Are they coming down there?
Right, everyone? 3, 2, 1. We're good. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, family members, for coming out. We appreciate it. All right, another police matter. Recognize 2023 Citizen Police Academy graduates. J. Scott Bendick, Chief of Police.
Yes, ma'am. This evening, the police department would like to recognize several members of our community for completing the department's 2023 Citizens Police Academy. I will ask everyone that's here from our academy to please step up here in front of me. Sorry, you knew we were going to do this. Please. It's awesome to see the great attendance here tonight. I'm going to also ask Officer Johnson to come up here since he was instrumental in putting this all together.
Big class.
No, you don't worry. They don't need to see me. You're good. So the Department Citizen Academy began in 2005. This program is held every year and is designed to provide township residents the opportunity to learn about various assets of law enforcement and the Montgomery Township Police Department. Participants attend a 2-hour class once a week for 10 weeks and are instructed by various Montgomery Township police officers, as well as some of our state and federal law enforcement partners. This program is a blend of discussions and practical exercises that include the history of our department and a tour of our police facility, some of the functions of the patrol division. The K-9 unit is always a big hit, as well as our SWAT team. Counterfeit documents. There's a mock crime scene that's held. This year we did active shooter training with the FBI, which was very well received. We also visit Bucks County for the firearms training simulator, and we also do a piece of instruction on accident investigation. Since its inception in 2005, over 250 people have attended our Citizens Academy. I'd like to special thanks to Officer Johnson for his coordinating, facilitating, and organizing this program. It takes a lot. Officer Johnson has alluded to the fact that this will be his last Citizens Academy due to his impending retirement next year, but it is our hope that we will have him here next year to usher in the 25th year of this program. So it is recommended that the Board of Supervisors recognize the members of our community who completed the department's 2023 Citizens Police Academy.
Can everyone say their name so we know who you are? Start over here.
And Christy. And Dean. Robert Delmeister. Deborah Delmeister. Deborah Darlington. Michelle Sager. Peggy Glasser.
Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for taking the time to do this academy and learn exactly what is going on out there. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
I went through the academy in 2017, and everything you said, that the chief just said you all went through, except for the active shooter training. It just brought back such good memories of what our department does here, and you learn to appreciate our police department then as well. So congratulations on coming through the academy as well.
Yeah, let's give everybody a round of applause. And Officer Rob Johnson. Absolutely. Do you think we can hire you next year just for this?
Oh, you got a thumbs up.
Picture.
We saw that.
Picture. Yeah, picture.
I think maybe our camera. Let's go down.
Good here. The actual witness. I can see everyone's face, so we are good. Right? Down three. 3, 2, 1. One more. 3, 2, 1. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's good.
Keep me on.
No, we'll do. So, absolutely.
I'm gonna be in touch though.
I'm gonna take quick pictures. What do you need, Jeff?
Okay, nice. My favorite.
You will never be used to
Hmm? The what?
Hand sanitizer.
Oh,
Good idea.
there was also some thank yous to the canines. So
Oh, yeah.
we
Oh,
thank
yeah.
the canines. They're our favorite.
Now, speaking of candidates, that'll be on our.
All right. Everyone back where they need to be. We're going to planning and zoning now. Review of upcoming zoning hearing board applications. Marianne McConnell, zoning officer.
So included in your packet is a summary of the applications scheduled for the zoning hearing board on June 7th of 2023. We have 2 applications. The first is for the Harvest Restaurant, the former Green Turtle, for additional wall signage. And the second application is Raising Cane's Restaurant, for the former Bertucci's Restaurant. They're proposing to demolish and construct a drive-through. So they're seeking relief for the drive-through service and setback for their proposed canopy. So the board may remain neutral on the applications and let the zoning hearing board render a decision based on the testimony presented, or they may choose to send the solicitor's office to oppose an application. This action would require a motion, second, and vote of the board.
Does everyone agree? I think our zoning hearing board can handle this.
I think so.
So
Yeah.
we're not going to weigh in on that. They are. Next thing, we have proposed changes to Meadows at Parkview landscaping plan. Marianne.
So in November of 2022, the township staff and professionals met with the representatives of the HOA and their arborists to discuss the approved landscape plan. They had concerns about what was promised by Toll Brothers and the plan that was approved by the Board of Supervisors. And at the meeting, they provided a list from their arborist of all the proposed plantings that are specified in the approved plan, accompanied by a list of plantings that were missing, dead, dying, diseased, or those the arborist believed were not appropriate for the site. The plantings they believed were not planted according to the approved plans or specifications. They suggested alternatives that meet the township standards for those plantings that all agree need to be installed or replaced. Following that, the HOA representatives met with Toll Brothers to discuss their landscaping issues, and they presented a revised plan in April for the township's review. The plan was reviewed by Judy Stern Goldstein, and the plan was noted as acceptable with 105 trees required that are not proposed to be planted or replaced, in which a fee in lieu of would be required for that. Any fee in lieu of would be placed in the township shade tree fund. And the recommendation is that staff and township professionals are seeking the board's consensus as to how they wish to proceed, and a determination of a fee in lieu of will be required based on the details of Gilmore and Associates review letter dated April 28th of 2023.
Anybody have any questions? I think Judy weighed in on this.
Mhm.
I'm fine with her comments.
So it sounds like we want to go with the fee in lieu of and leave the plan the way they have it at this point.
Accept the revised plan and then request the fee in lieu of with the trees that are not proposed to be replaced or installed.
And the residents are all in agreement that this is, that they would like us to.
The HOA presented the plan.
Can you come up?
Mhm.
My name is Michael Johnston. I'm the board member of the HOA from Meadows of Parkview. Also, Herb is Herb Hickmott is our arborist who we employed, and this is Thad. Sorry, apologize. From Toll Brothers. So we've been working together as a group, trying to come up with a plan that's going to meet our long-term needs as a homeowners association, both with the arborists and with the with the builders. And we're very satisfied with the outcome of our work. And I think everybody is trying to move forward proactively to give us the best, landscape that we can come up with, and it meet as many of the requirements that were part of the plan and the original plan's requirements. So, but I believe everybody is on board and really wants to move forward and get the rest of the plantings done. So,
That's great. And thank you so much for working with them, because some of your neighbors were not so lucky who didn't have this builder.
Yeah, like I said, I think from our perspective, it's like to see, love you the HOA if they want. See what the options are, we're pricing out the revised plan, and we'll be able to be between the owners. So we're open to reviewing that. We just want to make sure the board, the township are all on board with that. So.
Yeah, I mean, we usually take the recommendation of our consultants, so it seems like they're on board, and it's nice to have you here to tell us that the residents are on board as well.
thank you very much.
Okay. I'm going to move to accept the proposed revisions to the Meadows at Parkview landscaping plan per the recommendation of the township's consultants. Authorize the calculation of the fee in lieu of any removed trees and shrubs, and communicate this requirement to Toll Brothers. Approval of the revised landscaping plan is contingent on the fee in lieu being remitted to the township and the revised landscape plan and covenants being recorded.
Second.
Any public comment? You guys good? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Motion passes. I just have to back up a little bit because we didn't read the motion about the police academy graduates. So I'm going to move to recognize members of our community who completed the police department's 2023 Citizen Police Academy.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Great. All right. Going back to police and our favorite subject, the canines. Chief Bendig.
Yes, ma'am. On April 6th of this year, Montgomery Township Police Department's canine Odin retired from service due to medical issues. At this time, the police department is proposing to replace canine Odin with a new canine. After selection and caning, this canine team is anticipated to be on patrol in November of this year. Attached is a quote received on May 16th of 2023 from Tar Heel Canine Training of Sanford, North Carolina, for the purchase and training of a canine at a total cost of $13,295.25. This cost includes the purchase of the canine and the training for the canine team. This canine will be trained in both patrol and drug detection. A total of $30,000 was included in the 2023 approved final budget under Police Department capital replacement to purchase 2 canines and have them trained. It is recommended that the board authorize the purchase and training of 1 canine at this time for the cost, as alluded to, of $13,295.25.
That's very exciting.
Yes.
So when he'll be working in November, will he be here before then?
Actually, Officer Euphrasio was selected. He will be our next canine handler. We already have the dog picked out. The dog is beginning to be trained. So he will go down to North Carolina in September for 4 weeks to meet up with the dog with the training. And then hopefully he'll be back by the end of September. And we hope to have him on the street ready to go by the beginning of November.
Does he have a name?
Nico.
Nico.
Niko is the name. So Nick and Nico.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Somebody
How's
like
Odin
Alonzo.
doing?
Odin is fine. He's at home. He's living large at home.
As
Nope.
you should.
He will be in later on once we're waiting for something to be finished, and then we'll come in and present him with his retirement award.
Yay.
Nico is 18 months old. But again, we try and wait for them to be at least a year old just because it kind of gets the puppy out of them. But again, so seems to be very happy with them. So we were very fortunate. Retired Sergeant Hart and Sergeant Davis went down with him as well to they worked several dogs and they were able to select the dog that they felt was the most appropriate that would fit our community. So it's a full bred German Shepherd, this dog. So
And do
Very
they
nice.
always end up when they retire with their handler?
Usually I mean, some of them pass suddenly. I know some of my first dog passed suddenly, but it usually that's the goal is for them to come home with them. And again, it's worked out very well. So, but thank you.
No, that's great. We're happy to do that. I move to award the contract for the purchase of one new canine from Tar Heel Canine Training of Sanford, North Carolina, at a total cost of $13,295.25 per their quote dated May 16th, 2023.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Excellent. We're getting a dog. All right. Going into the finance and awarding the bids for surplus assets to Brian Shapiro, Director of Finance.
Thank you. On April 24th, 2023, the Board of Supervisors authorized the sale of township surplus assets through the online auction company Municipal. All bid tabulations and results are attached. The following is a list of items to the highest bidders and the amount of bids received. In total, the township will receive $174,316 for the sale of surplus assets within 21 days by approval of the Board of Supervisors. It is recommended that the Board of Supervisors authorize the sale of the equipment to the highest bidders as the close of May 18th, 2023. The motion is lengthy with all the lists. I don't believe you have to read all the items, just approve the purchases, but there are two motions on it. There is a second motion at the end of the page. There are two items that didn't receive any bid, so we want to move forward and dispose of them as well.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? I'm going to move to authorize the sale of the following equipment as presented here in our summary, and move to authorize the disposal of the following equipment: a Cobra Head street light equipment and fiber switch ComNet FTX 55555S2-B.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then the next item that Brian has will be the proposed amendment to the Sterling Act.
Thank you again. Recently, the PA Senate passed SB 671, which would repeal the Sterling Act. Senate Bill 671 would repeal the Sterling Act and codify the Local Tax Enabling Act with the intent to address the Sterling Act credit and mandate Philadelphia to credit school districts and municipalities for local wage taxes claimed by their residents who are subject to the City of Philadelphia tax on salaries, wages, commissions, and other compensation. In addition, the bill prohibits Philadelphia from assessing taxes on non-residents who are performing their employment duties outside of the city, remote workers. Senator Frank Ferry, Bucks County, introduced Senate Bill 671 in the Finance Committee on Monday, May 1st, 2023. It was reported as committed and quickly moved through to the third consideration and final passage in the Senate on May 3rd, 2023 by a vote of 28 to 21. If this act is amended, it is currently estimated to bring over $647,000 of additional earned income tax revenue back to the township. Staff recommends the board join other municipalities in supporting this amendment.
So for the public, the Sterling Act is what allows Philadelphia to keep our residents' taxes?
In a nutshell, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds good. I'm sure those people would love to see some of their tax money coming back to where they live.
And it still has to get through the House, though.
Just to clarify, so this is where your tax where you're performing the work.
Correct.
So as you're working remotely from home, if you would otherwise be traveling to Philadelphia for work, when you're working from home, you wouldn't be subject to Philadelphia.
So, I mean, maybe I'll just reverse it, just, the other way. These are Montgomery Township residents who work in Philadelphia, who
Yeah.
are paying the Philadelphia, wage tax, and then would not have to pay the earned income tax, if they did not work in Philadelphia. What this would do is allow us to recoup that money that, is technically going to Philly back to the, Montgomery Township where it should reside. So, but to go with the remote workers, you're right. If they are now, because of COVID, a lot of people moving, not working in the city and working back at home, their home base of operation is still identified as Philadelphia, and they're working here. So it's allowing that, to again bring the money back to Montgomery Township.
Thank you for that clarification.
Okay. Anybody have any questions other than that?
So they wouldn't be charged the tax at all? They wouldn't, the city wage would not?
They wouldn't be taxed any more than there already are. It's just claiming our portion of what it is.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Sounds fair enough. I'm going to move to adopt resolution 2023-09, supporting an amendment to the Sterling Act to require that up to 1% of earned income by non-residents working in the city of Philadelphia be remitted to the municipality where the taxpayer resides.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, going to Public Works now. Greg Reef, authorization to purchase a flat panel LED light or lighting.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening. In an effort to conserve energy and lower our operating costs, the Public Works Department is requesting authorization to purchase LED flat panel lighting to replace the fluorescent lighting in the administration and police complex. This purchase was approved in the 2023 capital investment plan. Attached is a quote dated May 11th of 2023 from Denny Electric Supply to provide the requested flat panel LED lighting at a total cost of $9,023.20. The total cost reflects a significant PICO discount if the order is placed on or after June 1st of 2023. The PICO discount has provided a cost savings of nearly $15,000. The equipment quoted meets the specifications prepared by the department. For the budget impact, a total of $24,000 was included in the 2023 capital investment plan for the purchase of the LED flat panel lighting. So it would be our recommendation that the Board of Supervisors approve the purchase of the flat panel LED lighting for a total cost of $9,023.20 per the 2023 capital investment plan.
So do we pay it and then PICO gives us a rebate?
They take that right off the top. So we would owe Denny Electric the $9,000.
That's a really nice discount.
Yeah, we were very surprised. When we first put in for it, the rebates weren't attached to that. That's why the amount's higher. And they are also on CoStars. They're in the CoStars vendor.
Yeah, and
for
it's
that.
nice. They're local.
Yeah.
Great. Anybody have any other questions? I'm going to move to approve the purchase of the flat panel LED lighting from Denny Electric Supply for a total cost of $9,023.20 per the quote dated May 11th, 2023.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor? Aye. All right, and you also want to buy a new Fellowship Park sign. That sounds very needed.
Yeah. We're getting to all the parks, but yes. In 2023, the Public Works Department is scheduled to purchase a new Fellowship Park sign. The new sign will be placed in the park in preparation for the fall of 2023 upgrades to be made to the park. Attached is a quote dated March 23rd of 2023 from Display and Sign Center to provide the requested Fellowship Park sign at a total cost of $3,865. The equipment quoted meets the specifications prepared by the department. A total of $6,000 was included in the 2023 capital investment plan for the purchase of the new Fellowship Park sign. So it would be our recommendation that the Board of Supervisors approve the purchase of the new Fellowship Park sign for a total cost of $3,865 per the 2023 capital investment plan.
Nice, under budget again.
Yeah.
Nice local company again. Very good. Anybody have any questions? I'm going to move to approve the purchase of the new Fellowship Park sign for a total cost of $3,865 per the quote dated March 23rd, 2023.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Is there any old business? No old business. We're going to go to new business. Department reports. Rich Greer, Director of Information Technology, is going to provide an update on current technology projects. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good evening, Board and Madam Chair. I'm here to provide an overview of the accomplishments and progress made by the IT department throughout the year 2023. I'm going to start with new hardware rollouts. We have successfully purchased and deployed new laptops for the Township Manager, Chief of Police, Finance Director, and Public Information Coordinator. PCs were purchased and rolled out to Facilities and Parks Foreman, Recreation Department Director, Payroll Associate, Rec Center Program Director, and Zoning Officer, now the Assistant Director. We assisted DFS and FDMT with the installation of 3 new GTAC vehicle laptops this year, an iPad with 5G service for a board member, and about a half dozen other tablets and smartphones throughout the township. Battalion 2 received a brand new firewall and upgraded Wi-Fi hardware. Our new back-ordered Ruckus Wi-Fi access points, which were ordered last year, finally arrived last month. In preparation of the installation of all those new Wi-Fi access points, we upgraded the cabling footprint of Battalion 1 and the Township building. We are awaiting a licensing issue to be resolved. Unfortunately, because the purchase was done last year, there's a hiccup in actually generating a license so we can activate all this equipment. We're hoping to have that resolved this week and complete that project. New servers are budgeted for Public Works Battalion 1, but we are working to determine if there's a better path forward for upgrading those servers. I just wanted to thank all the staff members who work with us with their new device rollouts. Setting up those devices can be difficult and stressful, so I just want to thank all of you guys for that. Moving on to infrastructure enhancements, we continue to streamline and refine the live stream process for the Board of Supervisor meetings. We've installed a new monitor and peripheral devices used during the live events and scheduled the capture card install hopefully for June. This card is the final piece for the township meeting room upgrades, and it will address the issue of switching from live presentations so people can see what's actually being presented and going from automatic to manual control of the cameras. It gives us a little bit more control in that part. We're still waiting, unfortunately waiting for. So June is what we're looking for that. Once that card comes in, we're really hoping to improve the streaming capabilities with more graphics and designs and stuff like that. Professional development. Our IT staff specialist, Fabian Zendejas, completed drone training and received certification, expanding our capabilities in aerial inspections and surveys and supporting this new technology for all drone certified staff members. Our IT tech specialist has also completed training in Microsoft Intune, equipping him with the necessary skills to manage and secure devices effectively. As a result of this training and other roles that Fabian has taken on, we have upgraded his title to Systems Administrator as of the beginning of this month, May 2023. I just wanted to thank Carolyn and Brian and Kristen from HR for their assistance in getting this done, the training scheduled and set up, as well as the promotion. They were a big help. Security and compliance. We are still working on in-house servers for updating a lot of our security services and patching of all of our devices throughout the township. We are working to migrate those to the cloud. We did an annual cybersecurity audit from DVPLT, which was completed in March. That's demonstrating our commitment to maintaining a secure IT environment. We are also working with HR to coordinate cybersecurity training for all township staff. Our department is also working on a ransomware playbook that we can distribute and use in the case of an outbreak of malware or ransomware. We continue to run our PCI credit card compliance scans for credit card processing at the Rec Center, ensuring security of customer payment data. This year, we'll be extending these scans as we prepare additional point-of-sale devices for police dispatch, as well as planning. System and software updates. IT staff members completed the first round of Tyler Encode training, enhancing their proficiency in the software and improving overall operational efficiencies. We also configured and tested a new email connection so that the new Tyler software will be able to send staff pay stubs and other workflow notices. We've also updated the DNS throughout the township so that all our new websites and domains improve the accessibility and user experience. Moving on to collaboration and communications. Our IT department was the staff liaison for the March BDP meeting, facilitating effective communication, how ironic, and coordination between departments. We attended the communications team roundtable, exchanging ideas and best practices with other departments. We are in regular productive discussions with the public information coordinator to explore technology and software solutions for social media and staff updates and workflows. As far as 2023 goes, that's where we are as we approach the halfway point. We are still working to complete the Wi-Fi project. Cloud phones is a possibility. Access controls and CCTV for DPW and Battalion 1, and our Tyler software rollout.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's a mouthful.
Well, thank you for getting all that done. I know
Thank
it's
you,
not
Rich.
easy, but it all matters, keeping everything secure. So
Awesome.
thank you.
Rich, are you using the GIS for order management or project management at all? Or
Like a workflow or like a ticketing system? No, not as
No.
of yet. I did use it to with my HOA who told me my tree was dead on my property, and it wasn't on my property, so that was last week. Happy to say I have used
Good for you.
GIS for that, so it did save me some money. But no, not as of yet. No, but we're working with Jen to make sure that all the technology, the tablets that the Public Works have been using, and some of the work order systems that they'll be using in the field are going to be up and running. It's not something we're objecting to. We just want to make sure that she's not overwhelmed with more.
no, I was just thinking that from a workflow perspective, for your department, you've got so many people to manage all their technology for. I just wondered what that looked like for you, and whether or not you could also use that system to help, prioritize and manage those
Absolutely,
tasks.
something we've been considering for sure.
Thank you for everything. Committee liaison reports. Planning Commission did not have a meeting, so I have nothing to report. Feel free to, we'll start over here.
Public Safety Committee met. Apparently, we have some lead foots in the township. There was a complaint regarding speeding on Gray's Lane, and we actually did a traffic study on that. And for the first time, we found that there is an issue. There are some concerns. So the traffic engineer will be evaluating the issue further. I believe the speed trailer is still out there.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes.
And then there's a citizen actually came to our meeting with an issue on Stump Road. Same thing. So our highway safety officer will be investigating that issue. Chief discussed the school bus camera, bus patrol, which has to do with violators with school buses. So it's a pilot program. Chief's been working with Dr. Bauer on that. So that will be coming out soon with more information on that. Public Works is hard at work cleaning up and doing all kinds of tree work and all kinds of things. And I thought it was interesting that they had a 2-day chainsaw training event for safety. So bravo with that. Chainsaws are a little scary, so they could do a lot of damage. And then we ended our meeting with a drone demonstration, which was amazing. It just, we got to see the actual drone, which was not all that big. Saw it go up in the air, and we had it showing on the TV screen. Went up, and the zoom was incredible. Like at one point, they could see the Philadelphia skyline, and it was really, really interesting. That's going to really come in handy for public safety in a lot of different ways. The Recreation Center Committee also had a meeting. Exciting with the change. The splash pad is anticipated. We're going to open that June 1st. The 6 treadmills, if you saw the municipal bid, we got rid of the old ones. The new ones have been installed. We have the Kids U, look like the training for the counselors and the staff have gone through with that. And then summer concert series will be getting started. We have 8 concerts. One will be a kids concert. And this year they've added food trucks to the concert. So
That's
I thought it was a
nice.
fun addition to this. Yeah. And then we had a pickleball discussion, which was Marcy Lynch is on our committee and a pickleball instructor. She has approximately 45 new people every 3 or 4 weeks that she is teaching how to play pickleball, which is wonderful. But then that means the demand for pickleball courts is higher than what we actually have available. And, you know, like any other sport, those who know how to play may not want to play with the beginners and vice versa. And so we need some more courts within the township. There's some different things that have been looked at. Hockey court at Spring Valley, maybe we need to do something there. We know Whistle Stop Park improvements will take in some pickleball. So we're in the whether it's the CRC advisory or the Parks and Rec that
Yeah,
need
I
to
think
deal
we're-
with this.
Maybe we should have someone from the CRC come over to the next Parks Board meeting.
Yeah, so Marcy and Tony were really heavily involved with the pickleball and just very, very much wanting new pickleball
More.
courts. Mhm.
Okay.
Oh,
Go.
me? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you were looking. I was looking that way. So I have only the report from the Sewer Authority, which is that we have decreasing numbers, like dramatically decreasing numbers of COVID being detected in the sewer plant. Of course, it came right through my house, unfortunately. But you know, my oldest son and my husband both got it recently, so it's not gone. It's still out there, folks. But according to the numbers from the latest biobot samples, it's diminished greatly. So it's good news. Marianne, I missed Shade Tree, so do you want to provide an update?
We just did a recap of Arbor Day. All 250 trees were distributed that Saturday, even though it was cold, wet, and rainy. I think it was the coldest, wet, and rainiest
Pretty cool.
Arbor Day. We just discussed after that future planting projects at Wendell Stray Park and some Okami cherries down by Gazebo Park in honor of Rich Roller and Roy Rodriguez. So those plans are in the works.
That's nice. Thank you.
I don't have anything new to report from EAC. I know we'll be looking at the plastic waste reduction ordinance and kind of nailing that out with the help of our solicitor. But also, just as a reminder that starting tomorrow, they're setting up right now at the Montgomery Mall, there will be a carnival that will be Tuesday through Friday, 6 to 10 p.m. in the JCPenney parking lot, the upper parking lot. Kind of near Firestone, and I believe they've kind of hashed out some of the safety concerns, et cetera. And then Saturday and Sunday it'll be 6 to 10 Tuesday through Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday extended earlier hour 3 to 10. So that's coming up very soon for this for our community to enjoy.
Great.
Yep.
So with regard to my senior committee, we just had our meeting last week, and they shared with me, because I was not able to attend the evening Medicare session. I shared last month that we had a daytime one and had really nice turnout. The evening one, they said upwards of 60 plus people were there. It was a fair amount. So because of the really well received both dates, we're looking at doing 2 more dates in the fall. So one of our members who's in connection with the woman that runs the session, she's reaching out for that. We did unfortunately lose our most recent member. So we just had sworn her in, Barb, but for good reason. She and her family are moving out of the area. And so we surely will miss her, but we were happy for her. So we are looking for a new member now. so that we can still keep our count at 7. We have, folks that filter in, but we had gotten her, but unfortunately lost her. So we are looking now for another new member. In conjunction with, I'm jumping around, but in conjunction to the Medicare classes, we talked about doing some sort of fraud awareness sessions. We have a contact person that we're going to reach out and see if we can schedule. Apparently, I believe it's a he, did some sessions over in Neshaminy Falls. So we're going to see about trying to schedule something at the rec center.
The state reps and senators do them on a regular basis
Mhm.
too.
Right, right. So the
Maybe do it in
gentleman,
partnership.
right, and actually the gentleman that I think worked with State Rep Serrato's office, that's who they were talking about. And so we do also talk about pickleball, but I think bocce, I'm looking at Deb, like, I don't think we have a meeting where we don't talk about bocce.
Still
So
working on
first-
those.
yeah, the topic of conversation was our, 2 newest courts and when are they opening and so forth. So, we gave the update that we have to everyone. And then also, they're always thinking about where else can we have a bocce court and so forth. And next month after our meeting, we're supposed to go play bocce if they're up and running right at the rec center. So that was it for our meeting.
Oh, quick question for whoever has the answer to this, maybe Marianne. Shake Shack, we keep getting asked, when's Shake Shack gonna open? When is Shake Shack gonna open? Do you have an update?
There is a delay with Pico.
And I believe their connection or whatever they're finalizing with Pico is pushed to mid-June. So we do not, and we're anticipating probably a week or 2 after that.
Okay, so for anybody out there and anybody watching at home, Shake Shack, mid-June.
Or later.
End of June, right?
Mid to end of June.
Okay. Anybody else? Any questions, anything? I'm gonna move to adjourn the meeting for the night.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for coming out.
And thanks for staying.
Landscape for an HOA, is that one that has to come with something? They would have to come to the township to get little plantings and all.
Well, they had to change it. Let me turn this off.
The plan was originally approved